Welcome to the deep dive.
Good to be here.
So today we're going to explore the work of the Analyst Hub. They're based down in Yenagoa, Bales Estate.
Right. And we've got this recording from their own platform, Data That Moves.
Exactly. And our goal really is to unpack what they do. How do they take, raw data and turn it into something valuable for businesses?
Giving you, the listener, a solid idea of what data analysis actually involves and, well, where it can make a real impact.
Okay, so the Analyst Hub, their main thing is turning raw data into actionable insights. Is that the gist?
That's pretty much it, yeah. Think about it. Loads of organizations have just mountains of data, right?
Right, but it's often just sitting there.
Exactly. It's like a library full of books, but they're all jumbled up, maybe even in different languages.
Okay.
So the Analyst Hub, they kind of act like the expert librarians and translators. They sort through it all, find the important patterns, the trends.
And then make it understandable.
Yeah, precisely. They present it clearly so organizations can make, smarter decisions, plan better, and ultimately grow. It's about turning that messy potential into actual progress.
So they're not just like isolated number crunchers. They're involved in the strategy side.
Definitely. They're helping guide these organizations. And yeah, they're based in Yenagoa, but the recording made it clear their impact stretches across different sectors and places.
Which sectors are we talking about? Is it quite broad?
Oh yeah, really broad. They mentioned education, healthcare, retail, real estate, even manufacturing.
Wow. Okay.
Just shows how, data insights are needed pretty much everywhere now. It doesn't matter if you're in the Niger Delta or anywhere else.
But surely the data challenges in, say, education are totally different from retail. How do they handle that?
That's a really important point they stressed. Customization.
Ah.
Generic one-size-fits-all stuff. They really dig into what each client needs. A hospital might be focused on patient outcomes,
Right.
while a shop is all about, what customers are buying and why. So the methods have to fit the specific questions being asked.
Makes sense. They mentioned three main ways they help. Statistical analysis was the first one. What does that actually look like for a client? What might they find?
Okay, imagine a factory, right? Maybe they're seeing more faulty products coming off one line than another.
Yeah.
Statistical analysis could help pinpoint why. Is it the machines, the temperature, maybe the time of day? It digs deeper than just noticing there is a problem.
It finds the specific things causing it.
Exactly, the significant factors. That way, the company can fix the right thing, save money, improve quality. It's about finding those hidden connections in the numbers.
Got it. More than just averages. Then there was data visualization. We all like a good chart, but what's special about their approach?
They talked about building clear, interactive dashboards, so it's not just a static picture and report.
Okay, interactive how?
Well, think of a real estate company. Their dashboard wouldn't just show house prices. You could, click on a neighborhood, filter by property type, maybe slide a timeline to see how prices have changed.
Ah, so you can explore the data yourself.
Exactly. It lets people dig in, spot trends faster, really understand what's going on in different market segments. It becomes a tool, not just a picture.
I see, a tool for exploration. And the third one was predictive modeling. Sounds a bit like fortune telling.
Huh. Well, it's not quite a crystal ball, but it can be seriously useful.
How so?
Okay, take a retail business again. By looking at past sales, seasonal patterns, maybe even things like weather forecasts,
Uh-huh.
they can build models to predict, with reasonable accuracy, how much of a certain product they're likely to sell next month or next quarter.
So that helps with stocking levels.
Precisely. Better inventory, less waste, maybe even getting staffing right for busy periods. It's using history to get ahead of the curve, turning hindsight into foresight, basically.
Okay, something else that jumped out was their focus on data privacy. They mentioned using synthetic data. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's quite a smart approach, actually, especially with all the concerns around privacy these days.
So what is synthetic data exactly? Is it just fake data?
Well, yes and no. It is artificially generated, but it's created in a way that mimics the statistical properties and patterns of the real data.
Ah,
So you can run analyses, build models, test hypotheses on this synthetic set, and get very similar results to what you'd get with the real sensitive data.
but without ever actually exposing the real private information.
Exactly. Think about healthcare data, super sensitive. They could create a synthetic data set that reflects patient demographics, disease rates, stuff like that, allowing researchers to explore trends safely.
Without risking anyone's confidentiality.
Right. It lets them unlock the value in the data while keeping that crucial privacy barrier intact.
That must be a huge plus for building trust, especially with, say, government clients or big companies.
Absolutely. They highlighted that commitment to privacy is really key for working with organizations where data security is, paramount. It shows they're handling sensitive info responsibly.
It's clear the methods are sophisticated, but what about the people? The team at the Analyst Hub?
Good question. They mentioned having experienced analysts, statisticians, visualization folks, the expected technical expertise.
Right.
But crucially, they also emphasize that the team has real-world understanding. They're not just data nerds in a vacuum,
Meaning?
meaning they act more like strategic partners, they understand the industries they're working with, the business challenges, so they can ask better questions, interpret the data in context.
And suggest things that actually make business sense, not just statistical sense.
You got it. They're bridging that gap between the data science and the practical business application.
So they're delivering insights, not just reports.
That's the idea, making the findings relevant and actionable for the client's specific situation.
And it sounds like they're also looking outwards, trying to build data skills elsewhere with training programs.
That's right. They mentioned developing industry training. It seems like they want to help organizations build up their own internal data capabilities.
That's interesting. Not just keeping the expertise to themselves.
No, it suggests a bigger goal, maybe fostering a wider data-literate culture, empowering others, not just being the sole provider of expertise.
Okay, so if people listening are intrigued and want to learn more about the Analyst Hub,
Yeah, the best starting point is probably their website. It's the analysthub.eng.
theanalyst.eng. Got it.
And they also mentioned being active on LinkedIn and Facebook, sharing insights every Saturday. So that's another way to keep up with them.
Great. Okay, let's try and pull this all together then. We've got the Analyst Hub based in Yanagawa. Their core mission: take raw data, turn it into real value.
Right. Actionable insights.
Using key tools like statistical analysis to find those hidden patterns.
Data visualization to make it all clear and interactive.
And predictive modeling to help forecast what might happen next.
Yep. And all underpinned by a really strong focus on data privacy, using techniques like synthetic data.
Serving lots of different industries, always tailoring the approach.
With a team that gets both the data and the business side.
And they're even moving into training to help others build these skills too.
Sounds like a pretty good summary. They're essentially building that vital bridge between the overwhelming amount of information out there and the smart decisions organizations need to make.
Helping them use data not just to survive, but to actually thrive.
Exactly. Leveraging it for real progress.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you listening. Just think for a moment about the sheer amount of data generated every single day. In your industry, your workplace, even just your daily life online.
It's staggering when you stop to consider it.